Hey ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. My name is KPZ, you're here on the home of the Slightly Above Average Ship Review, and welcome to Fantasyland, because we're in the new campaign ship, the Anchorage. We're on Northern Waters, it is a domination match, and you can see we're top tier. Why did I say welcome to Fantasyland? Well, Wargaming just said, hey, what if U.S. cruisers could launch torpedoes? And then they created the Anchorage. So this ship never existed, not even as a concept drawing. Wargaming just made it up. And this is the kind of thing that really bothers me. There are plenty of historical ships they could put into the game. You know, you could put in destroyers with the ability to drop minefields. Yes, you could put in submarines. But more importantly, you don't have to just make something up. There are plenty of ships in the game that don't have the capabilities that they had in real life, like battleships with torpedoes. Now, we do have some, but we don't have all of them. For example, the Nikolai had torpedoes in real life. Wargaming said, nope, can't do that. But this ship, we're just going to add magically torpedoes to a ship that never had them in the first place. Don't like that. Don't care for that, Wargaming. It is dumb. All right, go into WoW's builds really quickly. Damage record, 224,355. Base XP record, 4,697. We won't be doing any of that here today in the Anchorage. As you know, I don't necessarily love cruisers. Here I'm backing up to get myself into a good position. I really didn't like how that other cruiser was crowding me. So I put on the brakes and we're backing up and we're angled. And so my intent is to have someone else do the spotting. And we'll just do the part where we shoot at him here in the Anchorage. All right. Sorry, I'm going to stop looking for a second. Over at WoW's wiki.wargaming.net. Max dispersion 140 meters. HE shell velocity 823 meters per second. AP shell velocity 853 meters per second. Here is our first target. Another Anchorage. So we're lighting them up. There's also, I believe, a Vittorio Veneto over there. The Anchorage goes dark, and the Veneto appears to be like grinding on the rock there. So we're going to light them up here from our smoke screen. And you know what? I'm not ashamed to say that I felt that my teammates wanted me to do a little more spotting here. We'll have another part of the match where it's really apparent that my team was going to leave me hanging out to dry. But here in cruisers, I'm not comfortable enough to do what I do in battleships or destroyers, so we are playing very cautiously, and my teammates can do the spotting for once. And we are setting the Veneto on fire, and that's good. We are shooting HE for right now. I think we're going to back up here in a second, try to get these torpedoes out, just because, not that they will hit anything, but I mean, you have them. That's why the ship's in the game. You might as well use them. And yeah, I just find this stupid, meaningless, unnecessary. That's how I would term the creation of the Anchorage by Wargaming. Just not necessary. It's not. There were thousands of ships. There are thousands of ships that people want in the game. The USS Johnston, for example, the Samuel B. Roberts. Plenty of ships that people want in the game. But I find that Wargaming, I think, in my opinion, has done a poor job implementing premium ships. There are tons of premium 7 battleships for the U.S. crammed in. Just as an example, tons of Tier 6 destroyers, and I think they could do a better job at spacing some of those out, putting them in different tiers, allowing them to have things that make them different from each other. other than a minor stat tweak or something like that. And this is just another lazy implementation where you're taking something that didn't exist in real life and just saying, oh, but we wanted it, so that's fine. All right, continuing to shoot the Veneto, our smokescreen faded away. Please don't bother me, Apple Watch. And it looks here like the Veneto's got a little bit left. We've got the armor piercing loaded. We are going right above the armor belts, and we finish them off for our first kill. All right, over here in the smokescreen is the enemy anchorage. I wouldn't have pushed in this far. You have a big main battery range with this ship. I think it's a 19. And there we get a couple, maybe like just one Citadel hit on the enemy anchorage. He has gone dark, so we're just going to move in. And eventually that smoke screen is going to go away, or he's going to try to hide behind the corpse of the Veneto. Anyway, we will hit him there. Our teammates are trying to hit him. We are turning to get all turrets on target. And more shells are coming in on the enemy anchorage, but we are still not going to kill him. All right, great. Well, we'll go bow on. Bad aim right there, thankfully, from my teammate. That salvo does the trick. Kill number 2. All right, Azure Lane, New Jersey, thankful, is very, very far away. I can see my teammates are hiding behind islands or way behind me. So I'm going to make it clear that I don't appreciate that by spamming the request for help. I mean, the ship is dead. There's nothing else over here. Why are you hiding behind an island? Just saying. Just saying that it's good strategy when you're being shot at doesn't mean it's a good strategy when no one else is around here. And no one else is around here. They're all between several other islands and you. So we are not going to push out because I'm seeing this on the minimap. And I know that my teammates are going to expect me to do the spotting and to go out there and get shot at. And then after I whittle down the enemy ship and get taken out, then they'll kill pinch and finish on top of the scoreboard and be like, oh, what a great player I am. So we're not doing that. All right, we did mix in a solo base cap there because none of my teammates were even close to the cap circle to do that. All right, there's a Chapayev. I know there's a Colorado, I believe. You can see the icon to the right side of the screen. We are just trying to get the Chapayev in view. And he is spotting us. Now we are spotting him. Trying to use the armor piercing. We do send out torpedoes. There we take some damage from that Russian armor piercing. And that is not good. I'm turning away here to try to mitigate any more possible damage from the Colorado and the Chapayev. Still shooting armor piercing, not getting what I desired. There we take it in the backside, and it does a pretty nice amount of damage too. One more salvo of armor piercing, and then I think here I'm going to be like, yeah, that's not really doing it anymore. We get set on fire. And again, my teammates are all hiding behind an island. So here in a second, I'm just going to be like, screw this. My teammates are not being much of a help at all. So I'm going to put up my smoke screen. And this wouldn't have been necessary if my teammates had pushed out from behind the island and were engaging the Chapayev with me. But I felt that they were leaving me hanging out to dry on purpose. To do what I talked about earlier. You can see they're all right near islands. Maybe this one battleship is trying to push up a little bit. If that even is a battleship, I can't even see the mini-map. Anyway, they're hiding, and or one might be doing something somewhat beneficial. All right, Chapayev is visible now. And we are not going to do any spotting. And I missed because the Chapayev reversed his direction and now is going forward. We will engage our heel. And there's the one ship that's actually doing something who came forward. So sometimes, folks, in these matches, you've got to force your teammates to come forward to help you out. I hate to say it. And, advance cautiously because, as we all know, if you've been playing this game for a minute, the blue team loves to let one guy get out there and then they'll just stop and reverse and go the other way and end up all on the other side of the map. And meanwhile, you're like, I thought I had people helping me. And then there's no one there. All right, Colorado peeking his nose out. We are going to shoot the rear turrets at him. Chapayev has come to a stop in the middle of the cap, so we are going to shoot at him. Rear turrets going back. We do set the Chapayev on fire. The Colorado gets finished off, so we can now devote our attention to Chapayev, and we're letting our teammate take the lead, another cruiser, in terms of aggressing on the Chapayev, and that is totally okay. Meanwhile, the guy to my port side still hiding behind an island, so I wouldn't count on that player to contribute anything for the rest of this match. All right, set the Chapayev on fire again. There are some shells from behind the island from little Johnny Scaredy Pants over there. But we have got HE loaded. We are not being shot at. We've got all guns trained toward Chapayev. We're going to light him up again. We go over 100,000 total damage. And here we're working on the reload, and the Chapayev gets finished off. I don't know if you would call that a kill pinch or not. All right, resetting the match. We have a almost 300-point lead. All right, we did, until we lost a ship there. Anyway, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 ships remaining. The enemy has 2 ships remaining. The enemy is capping the Delta Cap, I believe, which is back kind of our base area. And, we've got a bunch of ships over here near me, some of which are chicken shits and haven't done a whole lot during the whole match. But that one guy did go forward. I appreciate that. Other crews are doing that. Why that guy's just shooting through the air there at a not target, you are not going to hit anything doing that. I'm sorry. You could be the luckiest man in the world. You could have won Powerball twice last night, and you still wouldn't have hit anything with that shot. All right, moving up here. I'll just say the Anchorage felt very ponderous, very slow. I don't know if that's a product of me maybe making a throttle input or a rudder input or not, but it just felt extremely sluggish in the water. And I don't play cruisers a lot, so I can't tell you if that is typical for you as cruiser or not. All right, speaking of cruisers, the Congress comes out. We're going to stop chip and fire at the destroyer and turn our attention to the Congress. What has a lower approval rating than Congress? The answer is nothing. All right, so I feel obligated to take him out. We are shooting HE. I'm not even bothering. Stop bothering. Speaking of bothering, stop bothering me, watch, or I will shut you off. All right, we're piling up the cap defended flags, folks. What better way to make a ship and a player look better than they really are than cap defended flags? Just checking the motion of the ocean there. He doesn't appear to be doing anything. Maybe backing up a little bit. So we're just going to sit here and farm damage and farm green cap defended flags from the Congress, who I don't understand the strategy here. Just get destroyed, I guess. He's not advancing. He is not focusing fire on any one person. Certainly not focusing fire on the nearest ship to him. We'll launch some torpedoes as a scare tactic. He finally focuses fire towards me. We're turning in to mitigate, and those shells really don't do anything. We set him on fire, and more cap defended flags. Working on this last reload, and that salvo is out. And we set him on fire and finish him off for our third kill. All right, only one ship left, the good ship Lollipop. Destroyer here, and I have no idea where he is. And, I always think it's funny as a player when it becomes obvious that you can't win by capping the base, that people will go ahead and cap the base anyway. And it's just like, look, you've got to kill all the enemy ships to win. We have you outnumbered. Capping won't make a difference. And certainly gunboating, well, I mean, it worked there, but you're not going to be able to gunboat everybody, Mr. Ostergoatland. So he's still visible. This is where more concealment probably would have been good. Take some damage there. I don't know if he's going to come out from behind the island, but I don't think we're going to be able to shoot at him before time runs out, which it just did. All right, we had a very successful match. We're in the mid 140s, and eventually I get tired. So I think we had 10. Whole bunch of progress going on there. All right, we ended up with 118,066 total damage. 197 main battery hits, 3 kills, 5 hits to Citadel, 11 cap defended flags, and we set 6 fires. We ended up with 623,859 silver, over 9,100 ship XP, over 9,500 commander XP in the campaign ship Anchorage. All right, and here we are at the top of the board, 3326 base XP, 3 big kills, 3,300 base XP. I think that's a really, really, really nice game. And I will take it, especially for me in a cruiser. So the Anchorage is good at beating up other cruisers and going after battleships in certain ways. Use your HE. All right, here in the port, aiming system mod 1, steering gears mod 2, steering gears mod 3. I know that's very boring. And gun fire control system mod 2. All right, taking a look at the loadout. 2 charges of sonar. You know, you could put up the catapult fighter. This ship has pretty bad AA, but I don't recommend that. Smoke generator, you have a choice between that and DFAA. Because the AA of the ship is so terrible, I would not recommend running this. I think, as you saw, we got a lot better use out of the smoke screen. Repair party, we were using the rear battle booster for movement speed and cooldown time. We got the Type 9 permanent camouflage and the unique Anchorage flag. I guess that might be a polar bear. All right, 41,800 hit points and a 16% really terrible torpedo damage reduction with our build. Got those 4 triple 203 millimeter turrets, 19 kilometer firing range, 12.3 second reload, 25.7 second turn time. HE shells, I think that's 2,800 max damage, 17% fire chance. AP shells, 4,600 max damage. You do have 2 sets of secondaries. The stats are identical. They're all 127s. So the range, 5.2 kilometers. The reload, 6 seconds. 1,800 max HE shell damage with an 8% fire chance. All right, here's those torpedoes. Imaginary torpedoes. 2 quad launchers. Reload every 87 seconds. Max damage, 19,033. The range is 10.5 kilometers at 66 knots. The detectability is 1,400 meters. Here's that terrible AA defense. You know why it's terrible? They don't have any Bofors guns. So I guess this is how they balanced out the lack of torpedoes by giving this ship possibly some of the worst high-tier AA for an American ship that is not a destroyer. Really bad. So you could get brutalized by a carrier. Maneuverability, 34 knots, 800 meter turning circle, 5.4 second rudder shift time. You know, if you wanted to swap out one of those rudders in the mod slots, that is up to you. Concealment, 12.3 on the surface, 7.7 from the air, 6.5 when firing in smoke. Taking a look at the stats, we played 3 matches in the Anchorage. And thankfully, this match was a really good one, so it balanced out the terrible matches I had before this. Kill-death ratio of 1.0, and all these good stats are from the game you just saw. Main battery accuracy 44%. I don't think that's very great. Just one man's opinion. All right, here in the armor viewer, you're also going to see a lot of stuff that's not very great. Above water citadel. Yikes. Yeah, it's got that weird spar in the front underneath the waterline, but that's not good. The bow, heavily armored at the keel, but I don't know where that stuff is. But this bow plating is 27 millimeters. Turrets and barbettes, abysmal armor profile. I guess the turret faces are sloped a little bit, but these turrets can probably get killed pretty easily. Casemate armor offers almost nothing, and that is the armor profile of the Anchorage. Not a whole lot there. All right, here's our commander, fully maxed out, Norman Scott. He is the commander I recommend for this ship. And you can see we got a fully maxed Mimbelli for reload time and a fully maxed Kuznetsov for range. And we did our typical heavy cruiser ranged build, beyond range in row 1, igniter in row 2, armed and ready in row 3, which gives you that long range fire indicator, and fixated in row 4. Our legendary skill choice was refill station, which we were able to use, I think, when we were hiding in our smoke screen the second time. Anyway, that is the Anchorage, folks. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, hit that like button. You can always subscribe for more slightly above average ship reviews. I'll see you on the next one.